Dear ladies and gentlemen, good morning everybody. We are extremely pleased to see so many familiar faces. It's a great pleasure to have you all here with us. Just if you want to follow the presentation also in the back, scan the QR code that somebody in your row has it, and then you can pass it on like that. You can see even the smaller charts that are otherwise hardly visible from the back. 8 years ago, time is flying, we had this idea to launch a Natural Resources Day because we were having the feeling that people don't really understand this sector anymore. They don't understand the importance of these daily things, and we created the first Natural Resources Day with 30 people in the audience. Now today we had 125 people signed in. Step by step, but I think until we have a big aula of a couple of hundreds, I think this space is still in early days. Allow me to introduce you to our external speakers. So today we have a Norwegian crew with us. We have 4 Norwegians sitting in the front row. Representing Arctic, there is John and his colleague Dedrick. And then we have Runar and Håkon, sorry for that, from SalMar. Arctic is first of all an equity broker for the Nordics, but not only that, they are also brokering real assets, shipping vessels, etc. So very interesting, and we think they have a great insight into the energy space, and I think they can tell you a lot about the issues that we could have when supply is not coming just with a phone call. Our guys you know well. I have to excuse Carlos because he's turning 70 at the end of the month and he was planning the holiday earlier, so I think we can excuse him. He's still with us and he's still an important member of the IC committee. You have seen the agenda. Coffee break is important. We'll have a little delay of maybe 5 or 10 minutes. And then all the Q&A will be at the very end. Now, at the entrance, you saw our roll-up that we were creating 5 years ago with the slogan, "This 10 years are in favor of value investing and natural resources." Now, allow me to just show you one chart, which is a chart from our value fund. Since 5 years, since the beginning of this decade, we outperformed MSCI World by something slightly more than 2% per year. So we argue that selectivity is back. Stock picking makes a lot of sense again. And we were kind of surprised to be able to even beat the MSCI World as a whole with this large, magnificent 7 included. Now, this is not the topic of the day. The topic of the day is the natural resources space. This chart we show since 8 years, which is the ratio between the S&P 500 and the Goldman Sachs Commodity Index. So basically looking how expensive or inexpensive commodities are measured in equities. And we are still at the 50-year low. Now you could say, hey, but these guys are telling us in 8 years the same story, and we still wait for the rebound. Let's have a look a bit later on that. Here we compare mining companies relative to MSCI World. Here you basically see the upside potential that this sector has, just not going to the top of the peak of last time, but just go to the middle space, and you can easily see how much potential there is. The same thing, or even more so, in energy, because this is the most hated space. And look at this next chart, which is a two comparison. Indexed, yellow or gold is the gold price, and blue is the oil price. So you see a clear correlation from time to time, some deviation. Now we are not the ones that are arguing gold is falling apart, not at all. If you look at the money that is printed around the world more and more, We expect gold prices to hold, maybe correct a little, but hold well. But you see here quite a bit of upside potential for the oil price. Having said that, even at current oil prices, our holdings have a free cash flow yield of 25% or dividend yields of 10%, which is amazing. I pass over this slide quickly because Marcos is also going to touch this one. Maybe just one figure. The Natural Resources Fund as a whole, including SalMar, which is a salmon position that we have, where we have 2 representatives today here, is trading at a price to book of 1.3, which substantially is cheaper than basically most other assets around the space. Last but not least, over the last 5 years, our Natural Resources Fund has done 25% per year and outperformed the MSCI World quite nicely as well, and outperformed the S&P Natural Resources Equity Index. And the lowest line, the yellow one, is the Goldman Sachs Commodity Index, just rolling commodity futures. So we believe strongly that stock picking is back since 5 years. And it's, as we mentioned in the entrance roll-up, we believe it's at least a full decade.